Do 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 do. Yeah, I wonder how this works. Let's see. No idea. Okay, the hell with it. This is basically doing this like a live on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. First time doing the live off of YouTube. First time. That means that me and Eddie Unsteady and kind of made it because you got to have an X amount of subs to be able to even do a YouTube live. So I feel important on this Sunday morning. All righty. Okay. Just doing this video real quick. Once again, this is Coastal Boxing Club. I am Chi Ming, CBC. All right. My other half is Eddie Unsteady, but I just wanted to do something real quick to talk about last night's boxing events. It was going off last night. It was beautiful last night. You understand? It was beautiful. Okay. If you're a boxing purist, you got everything you wanted. If you're a boxing fucking casual fan, you got everything you wanted. You got possibly one of the better fights of the last couple years. And it came from two women. Two women. But these ain't your average women here. Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor are probably two of the best five women fighters in the world, possibly. So when you got that, and then you got Madison Square Garden, sold out crowd, nothing but a bunch of Puerto Ricans in the building rooting for Serrano, and a bunch of Irish men and women in the arena rooting for Katie Taylor. Man, this fight was it was a classic, a boxing classic. I don't care if you don't like women's boxing. All right, this here is a great boxing match. Okay, it it started off real good from the beginning to the end. It was all action packed. Katie Taylor started off good. She was boxing, staying, sticking and moving basically. Serrano was the aggressor. She was coming at her the whole fight, but in the beginning, Katie Taylor was moving really good off of her back foot and boxing. But then uh, in the fourth and fifth round, like Serrano started to find the range, and then she just hit her with a lot of big shots in the fifth, the sixth. Both of them rounds, it almost looked like she could have possibly been knocked out. Uh, but she was really in bad shape in those rounds. Like Serrano hit with everything. She was hitting her with going to the body. She was throwing the combinations. Taylor looked like she was lost. I mean, her eyes got big. She was bleeding. Everything that Serrano seemed to touch her, she seemed, she was a little chinny. She was moving around here and there. She was in a lot of trouble. And it looked like she possibly could have been stopped. A couple of those rounds, like maybe like the fifth or the sixth, possibly, they might have been like 10-8 rounds, possibly. So that's why, like in the judging, it ended up being a split decision. Katie Taylor won the fight, but you could argue in certain instances maybe that it might have been a questionable decision. Now, I think regardless, it's 7-5 either way draw type situation. But it also depends on if you're taking into consideration the fact that if you're taking into consideration that there's a possibility of those rounds that I called, like this, I think it's like maybe the fifth and the sixth, um, taking them into consideration that they possibly could have been 10-8 rounds just because of the dominance of the factor of it. Just being dominant, like the way that Serrano was in those rounds. She was very dominant, almost had Katie Taylor knocked out. So it's like you could have judged him that way. But one judge gave it 4 rounds. I think it was 4 rounds they gave, 4-round win for Katie Taylor. I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe 7-5 was a little bit better. That sounded more reasonable. It's closer, you know. But either way, it could have went either way. Plain and simple, it could have went either way. And I think it was a great, great classic fight. And if anybody hasn't seen it, find a way. Find a way to go see it. It's a classic. Those young ladies need to fight again. It was amazing. Oh, the energy was electric. You would think that, I don't know. I mean, in regards to electric, like in regards to like the atmosphere and everything like that, it reminded me of like, I don't know. All I know is off the top of my head right now, I can think of a real electrifying crowd, and that was Ricky Hatton versus Floyd Mayweather. I remember that. If you could just hear the crowd in the background, the electricity, like anytime Hatton did anything, the crowd lost its mind. It was crazy. You could not hear anything. The commentators could barely hear themselves. You could barely hear the bell. Okay. But the difference was that with this, you had that kind of energy, but you also had a great competitive fight at the same time. What the hell? Like energy from that in a fight like that normally doesn't happen. All right. To be honest, usually you are let down with the expectations of a great fight. It just usually happens. And you probably, 9 times out of 10, shame on you, and shame on you again, that you probably went into it thinking maybe, possibly maybe, that just because it's Serrano and Taylor, 2 women, that they would have not been able to put it down and possibly not lived up to the expectations of the magnitude that they put the fight out there, and they promoted it to be a great fight. It ended up being a great classic fight. Those women, hats off to both of them. They're great and they're all right. And I hope they fight 50 times. They don't got to fight nobody else. They can fight each other 50 times. They're going to probably either split them all or, it's just going to be close, competitive, and great fights all the way around. So I just wanted to say thank you to Serrano and Taylor for putting up a great show. And I hope y'all fight again. Now, let's get into some other shit. Okay. Keyshawn Davis. Just want to throw this out there real quick. If y'all seen him, he was on the undercard of Stevenson Valdez. Fought before the main event. Man. Listen, look at my face. Did y'all see him? Did y'all see him? Yo, did y'all see him? Man's is special. You understood? Special. Different. Unique. He's something else. I just see, look, when you do this, when you know about stuff and you do this for a long time, these guys don't get rich. Promoters, traders, they don't go look at guys and just say he's the next best thing because it sound good. When they go into these gyms, check these guys out, they see what they do, they look, they say, okay, they're going to tell you they're talented, they're not talented, or it's different. Okay? When you look at guys like Shakur Stevenson, these young guys like that, and Keyshawn Davis, that are so advanced and ahead of their time when it comes to ring IQ. A lot of these young guys got ring IQ out of this world. It's crazy. They learning fast. And you know why they learning fast? Because they're paying attention to the guys before them. They're actually paying attention, which is a lot easier to do in this era than it was in eras past. You had to have film and VCR tapes and all of that. Now it's nothing. Younger generation fighters, all they got to do is pull up YouTube, go on Instagram, go on Twitter, and boop, bat, bing, bam, bow. They can watch anything, study anything about any fighter at any time. And if there's footage for the fighter, boop, they got it. It's right there. No problem. So, like, they are paying attention. And it's so beautiful, man, to see these guys, these young cats, man. Boxing is in good hands. Boxing is in good hands. When you've got guys under 25 like Davis and Shakur Stevenson, who's basically about, I think he's like, he might be 25 or he's approaching 25. I know he might not be over 25. Regardless, you've got guys like these that are not even 25 years old. There's a couple other guys. I don't know. Maybe I might have reservations about guys like Berlanga and Zayas, but they're still pretty good fighters nonetheless. And the possibilities are endless. They're young. They can get better. Okay. But when you got like Shakur Stevenson, let's go. Let's talk about that. Speaking of all of that, let's just get into it. Okay. Last night was a fight that I held very dear to my heart. I hate to sound like a biased guy because I'm not a biased dude. I'm not. Not when it comes to boxing. I don't care about all that extra stuff. I don't. When me and Eddie talk about boxing, we talk about all the extra stuff sometimes because it incorporates into what happens. But for the most part, I don't like the extra stuff when it comes to boxing because it's all about man and man. All that promoter shit and all the other stuff, yeah, we got to talk about it, but that's not really what moves the needle for me. It's about the two fighters, okay? And I feel like if somebody knows anything about boxing, if you watch boxing and you just look at a talent level, okay, for the past couple months, I have been hearing that Oscar Valdez was going to beat Shakur Stevenson. You know who you are. You know who you are. You know who the fuck you is. You said that Valdez was going to beat Stevenson. Stevenson is just a runner. That's all he do. He ain't finna do nothing but run. That's it. He's gonna run. And I always been telling people, he don't run. Guys like that don't really run. People used to call Floyd Mayweather a runner. Well, no, not really. He wasn't a runner. He stood right in front of you. It just seemed like he was running because you couldn't fucking hit him. That was the problem. You couldn't hit him. It just kills me how y'all just think somebody's supposed to just stand there like a fucking pinata and get beat on blindly, just standing there throwing punches and getting your shit busted open like a pinata. Fucking stupid to me. Real dumb. Anyway, boxing is a science. Brawling is some shit you see in the club after motherfuckers that had too many Hennessy and Cokes. Of course, Stevenson is a boxing savant. Awesome. Just a beast. Okay? He's everything that you want. Hit, not get hit. Power. Come on, man. Come on. He don't got that one punch knockout power, which I don't know yet because I don't think he's really turned up and corked and uncorked the punch at somebody like that with the intentions to get them out of there with one punch. I don't see why he. There's no thing to say that he can't do it. How about that? And why is it that every time people talk about Shakur don't got power, right? Why is it that everybody that he fights don't go at him? Like they're not running at him, bum rushing him. They're not trying to bum rush him and put him up against the ropes or all of that other stuff like that. Do you want to know why they're not doing that? Simple and plain, because of the fact that he's strong. And we're not even talking about just strong with his punches. He's strong physically. He's athletic. Okay? A lot of people don't know, man. The dude is athletic. Y'all don't know what y'all be seeing. Like, Shakur be out in the streets. He's bigger than what y'all see him fight at. You know what I'm saying? Like junior welterweight, junior middleweight status. All right? He gets down to where he at. He's a naturally big lightweight. He's going to be a big lightweight. He's not going to be a small guy at 135. Okay? He's not going to be that small. It's going to be like, it's basically the Mayweather effect. He looks just like that. It's going to be Mayweather, but he's bigger than Mayweather now than Mayweather was at this time. He's a bigger guy. He's filled in. See, because he's a bigger guy naturally, he comes down. Okay, them other guys like Mayweather, they move up. They gotta go hard to get to the weight. They gotta go ham to get to like when Mayweather would fight at 154. He could never step on the scale and get to the limit. That's why he did the 154 joints kind of like a catch weights. Because like, look, I can get close. I can almost get there. I can almost get there, but I ain't gonna be able to get there all the way. But Shakur walks around as a bigger guy. So when he come in the ring, once he weigh on the scale and he go into his room and he sit back and he throw a grape in his mouth and drink a glass of water, boop, 150 on fight night. So that's what you're gonna have to deal with if you one of these natural so-called 135, 140 natural guys. Y'all gonna always look like he fits the part with any of y'all. None of them are gonna be bigger than him physically in the ring. It's just what it's gonna be. All right. So in my opinion, I think he's the best. This ain't no prisoner of the moment shit. I've been saying this. If you don't buy it, y'all can go back and look at other vids that me and Eddie put up. Okay. I think he's the best talent to come out over the last 20 to 25 years. Simple and plain. Oscar Valdez didn't stand a chance. Never had a chance. I don't know what y'all was talking about. I gave him a puncher's chance. That's all y'all should have gave him. That's all you should have gave him. He did not stand a chance against that man. Okay? First of all, Valdez ain't big enough. All right? We saw that. Clearly, it was clear. I was saying all of these things before the fight. Clearly. And the Valdez punching power, we could get into that, but I'm not going to really. It's a little overrated, y'all. Let's just keep it a buck. It's a little overrated. It's a little overrated. Just a little bit. It's a little overrated. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from Valdez. He's a great fighter, but it's a little bit overrated. His punching power. I mean, it's easy to look like you got punching power when you punching at cats that can't really fucking block a punch or don't know how to defend a punch. They use their head to block punches. So when you use your head, when you fight a bunch of guys that use their head to block punches, they're gonna look like they got punching power. But anyway, it's overrated. He's gassed. No, I don't know why anybody even gave him a chance. This is what I be talking about when I wonder about like so-called boxing purists. Like, what do you think with? I don't think with when me and Eddie do things, we don't think about race or any of that other extra shit. We don't even know, but we don't think about none of that. We're both biracial men. You know what I'm saying? We're biracial. Like we both got multi races going through our bodies. So why the fuck are we talking about? Oh, he ain't gonna beat him because of this, or Mexican fighters can't beat slick boxers, black boxers, whatever the fuck. It's just really, really ridiculous, y'all. It's really bad. Okay. Now, regardless of that, okay, if I thought that Oscar Valdez stood a chance, then I would say that. I wouldn't be sitting out here saying just because Oscar Valdez, or Shakur, hold on, how can I say it? If Oscar Valdez stood a chance, I'd say that. Okay. But some people out here can't say that Shakur Stevenson was going to win because of how he looks. Or some people were saying Valdez ain't going to win because of how he looks. Because his race. Shit whack. Shit weird. Shit weird. All right? You can sit back and you know how many brothers been knocked out by white boys and Latinos, slick boxers, or whatever the hell y'all want to call them. They've been knocked out by Latinos, white boys, and so on and so forth. Everybody has gotten it. Everybody has gotten it when it comes to being in the ring. Okay. I see y'all don't. I mean, it's just real crazy. Like the race shit when it comes to boxing should really just be out the door. We should stop that. Like it's all about these. It's all about these in the end. The hands. And I feel like in the long run, that's all that really matters. That's all that anything really matters. If you really think about it, is these hands. Okay. That's all that matters in the long run. All this other shit don't matter. So when I think about it, I just be like, Shakur Stevenson, when you look at it, look at the talent, man. It's there. Okay. I think he's one of the best fighters. He pound for pound. Come on. I thought you should have put him on there after he beat Jamel Herring. He should have been on the pound list after that. Why? Well, they didn't have no problem throwing Loma on that shit. All right. Loma won his world title the fastest of all time. Shakur's second fastest. So if they're gonna try to like acknowledge, you can't put Loma on the pound for pound list for shit that he did in the amateurs. All right. You put him on there at 3 when he won. You put him on there early when he won his third. He won his world championship after his third fight. You put him on there. Not only did you put him on there, you put him on there as the best period. And you use the criteria of him, the Olympics and the amateur ranks for why he was so high. And then he won a world title so soon. So if that's the case, there's no reason why Shakur Stevenson shouldn't have went up there after he won his first when he won his first world title. Now, because he did it so fast, and then you could go to his amateur background and go in his amateur pedigree and be like, oh, well, yeah, he's definitely a pound for pound guy, skill wise. He's been that. All right, he's been that already, skill wise. But after you beat Jamel Herring, that should have been enough to tell you. All right, pound for pound, beast in the Olympics, win a championship, world championship early. Now he's young as shit. Early in, he's a 2-time division champion. He's a 2-division champion. I mean, what are we talking about? Shakur Stevenson should definitely be in the top 10 pound for pound list. Okay, he can beat, in my opinion, almost everybody on that list, no matter the weight class. There's only like I look skill wise. I think there's only a few guys on there that could beat him. Okay, so he belongs on that list, unquestionably. Estrada, can he beat Shakur Stevenson? No. You can get him out of here. He can get out of there. Shakur Stevenson belongs on that list. Unquestionably, no doubt about it. He's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. You can't deny that. You can't. And what makes me mad, y'all know he that nigga. Y'all know he nasty like that. Y'all know that shit. That's what makes me mad. Y'all know he nasty like that. But nobody likes change. Nobody likes greatness. Nobody does. It's just so it's sad. I shouldn't have to be convincing y'all. We should all be just praising it. But y'all don't like to do that. Y'all like to try to find the wrong in everything out here. And I'm letting y'all know that this is just my opinion. This is just a take. But I think Shakur is the best. That fight was never going to be good. I was telling people last night, this fight is a glorified tune-up. Y'all like Valdez like that. Y'all should have known that he was going to get smoked like this. Y'all should have known that. He was going to get smoked just like this right here. Y'all should have known that shit. Shakur Stevenson is one of the best fighters in the world. He belongs on the pound for pound list. Going forward, look, I don't think anybody from 130 to 140 can beat him. None of them. From 130 to 140, I think he can beat all them guys. Then, once Spence and Crawford leave 147, guess what that means? That means there won't be nobody from 130 to 147 that can beat Shakur Stevenson. I don't think any of them guys could beat him. Those 4 princes or whatever y'all call them weirdos, I love them, but y'all calling them that is some weird shit. Shakur beats all them dudes. All of them. Lomachenko, he beats him too. I'm not trying to sound crazy, but you gotta look. Just look. Look at the gift, the talent. I'm literally watching Floyd Mayweather all over again. Now, is Shakur Stevenson maybe as tough as Floyd? I don't know yet. And I really kind of question that because Floyd every once in a while would get dirty. He would get rough. And I know Shakur is kind of rough because he'll fight on the inside with you and he'll trade, but it just seems like maybe he ain't as rough and as aggressive as Floyd Mayweather. But that don't mean he ain't as skilled though, y'all. For real. Look, I'm just telling you, this guy's great. He is going places, big time. And he's on the pound for pound list. If y'all don't put him on there, it's a problem. Okay. He belongs on the pound for pound list. All right. And everybody should just take a seat. Look what you're watching. You know what I'm saying? There's greatness here. Y'all should really appreciate that, man. The dude does his thing. And if y'all know boxing and you look at him, the mold, the make of it, if he's dedicated to his craft and his skill, what are you going to do with that young man? That's what y'all need to tell me. What y'all going to do with him? What are you going to do with him? Look, we got other great fights coming up. Oh, man, fight season is in full effect right now. Next week, we got Canelo getting it in with Dimitri Bivol. Me and Eddie will probably get more and more into that, during the week. Just wanted to make a quick video, man. Anybody that happens to catch this video, I've never done a live off YouTube before. So anybody who happens to catch this video, once it's uploaded, like, comment, subscribe to our channel. This is Coastal Boxing. I'm going to enjoy my Sunday. I'm probably going to watch that fight again because I like a good old-fashioned ass whooping. I like me a good old-fashioned. Y'all don't like a good old-fashioned ass whooping? I know people don't. Like, people like to watch fights where they all competitive and everything. I do. I love competitive boxing matches. That'll be the one I put on before anything. But I likes me a good old-fashioned ass whooping every now and again. I likes me a good old-fashioned ass whooping every now and again. Because that shit I saw last night, Valdez Stevenson, that's a good old-fashioned ass whooping. Y'all gonna learn, man. And I'm not trying to even, like I said, I'm not showing bias. I'm just seeing the skill, baby, the skill. I talked like this when I talked about Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? I talked like this when I talked about Floyd. Like, I talk like this when I talk about guys that I see that have the skill. Now, the dedication is what makes you great. Do you want to continue to be great? You got skills, but do you want to continue? Do you want to just be good enough to get paid? Or do you want to be good enough to be great? If Shakur wants to be great, the possibilities are endless. Chi Ming from Coastal Boxing Club. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Y'all be easy.